Rakata, rakata, rakata. Rekete, rekete, rekete.
Heri kuja umedusa ilivyolongina kwangu wa makoko na hiyo mijudo mbona nitakufa kwa tsunami na jaribu tandiko awe bana Italia kiniachilia Italia so unavyonipatia oh my God oh, I'm crazy for you oh my God oh, I'm crazy for you oh my God oh, I'm crazy for you oh my God oh, I'm crazy for you
Rakata, rakata, rakata. Rekete, rekete. Rikiti. Rukutu. Rakata, rakata, rakata. Rekete. Rikiti. Rukutu.
tena uzikumbuke ahadi zile ulizonigea mapenzi vita wendo gadi baby utanitetea usiruhusu wadangaji wakaanza kukuzoea unawajua mafisadi watapata cha kunisemea akili tazunguka itazunguka kiniacha mwenzako maana taumbuka nitaumbuka yote kwa ajili yako Italia kiniachilia Italia so unavyonipatia oh my God oh, I'm crazy for you oh my God oh, I'm crazy for you oh my God oh, I'm crazy for you oh my God oh, I'm crazy for you
Rakata, rakata. Rekete. Rikiti. Rukutu. Rakata, rakata. Rekete. Rikiti. Rukutu.
Hi everyone. How are we all doing? It's a beautiful Friday, and I hope we're feeling great. Welcome to today's Choose Growth session. Journeys that inspire, where we are here to learn from those who have been there. This session is supposed to help us, take a pause and then reflect on how exactly we can connect what we are learning as data analytics pros right now, how we can connect it to the bigger picture. I hope we're feeling great. I would like to, let's just start the session with some vibes before we get into the real deal today. I want to see emojis from you, our learners. You are beautiful learners. Can we get the emojis? Let's get some reactions. I mean, this session is not about Majin Dogo. It's not about MySQL. It's not about joins and stuff. This is about taking a pause right now. It's about choosing growth. So I'd like to see our emojis. I'd like to see our reactions. Let's keep our reactions coming. Are we excited for this session? Let's know in the chat. Let's know with your emojis. Okay, I can see the emojis flying in. Thank you all very much. My name is Alima, and I am your host for today. And so, like I said, we just need to take a pause, reflect, and look beyond the assessments and the deadlines are always setting and say, okay, this particular assessment is due to so date. We just need to help us understand that there's a bigger picture, right? Let's challenge our thinking and encourage us to be intentional about how we grow both professionally and personally. And today's session promises to be insightful, and we're excited to have our guests share perspectives that can inspire and challenge us. So before we get to our speaker, before let our speaker speak to us today, let's just go over the agenda for this session. So we're going to have check-in. We're going to then introduce our guest. We'll then dive into the Choose Growth session. And then after that, you can then ask questions that you have based off of what the speaker has already said or what you've learned from the speaker. And then we'll have feedback poll and announcement and then closing. So, but first of all, let's set the ground rules first. I know that we learners we're always very compliant. We know that during our sessions, our PPL sessions and other sessions, we are always very composed, and we always keep to the rules. We don't, do things. We don't go overboard. But let's just still set the rules, so that we know what exactly is expected of us today. So yeah, use the chat. Please remember, if you want to ask questions, if you know that you have a question or you have something to say, just put it in the chat. And please make sure that your comments and your chats are they are constructive and as respectful as possible. Try to respect everybody, respect yourself, and respect everybody. So let's make it a great learning environment for everyone. And if you have questions, if you feel like there's a question that popped up in your mind that you don't want to forget, or you just drop it in the Q&A and we'll attend to it. Also, please be present. And I want this session to be interactive as well. Be present. This session is for us to learn from someone who has been through the journey that you're actually going through right now. So this is where you are supposed to get your pen, your notebook, and jot things down. So come with your questions and come with your listening ears. And please, let's make it as interactive as possible. When it's time to ask questions, you can raise your hand, and let's just make it as fun and as as exciting as possible. So check-in first. Let's just do a quick check-in. What's that one thing that's keeping you motivated this week? I mean, it's Friday, right? And it feels like, oh, it's Friday, so there's no motivation again. The week has ended. But I mean, the day is not over yet. It's still on, and there has to be something that started, like a motivation that started from the start of the week, and something that just has been keeping you going and is still keeping you going up until now, to just be able to finish the week strong. So what's that thing that has been keeping you motivated, or I would like to hear it. I would like to hear what's keeping you motivated. Okay, let me just go first. Actually, I would go first. Let's see. So what's keeping me motivated actually this week is pretty much simple. It's just a reminder that growth doesn't always happen in big jumps or big leaps, right? It happens in small and consistent steps, right? I'm just trying to take one step at a time, and just focusing on small wins, basically. Just you might have like a big ocean that you want to cross, but don't look at how big or how large the ocean you want to cross is. Just just take it one step at a time. It just starts with one step. If you overwhelm yourself with all of the things that you have to do or that is ahead, you find out that you're just very overwhelmed. But just look at what is directly in front of you and just take it one step at a time, basically. So that's what is keeping me motivated. And yeah, I'm not alone as the host here. I have Naomi with me, I have Nosy, and I have John as well. So let me just ask Naomi, what's that? Naomi, please, can you let us know what's that one thing that's keeping you motivated this week? Can you share with us and our learners?
Okay. It's the weekend that's keeping me motivated, funny enough. Guys, I apologize for my AI face moving along. This is not me in real life. But yeah, I'm excited that tomorrow is Saturday and I can finally sleep. Oh, I see someone wants to share. Benny, please, Halima, I'm handing it back to you.
Oh, okay. Benny wants to share. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Benny, you can speak now. Benny, are you with us? You can speak now.
I'm guessing it's a false hand.
Okay, all right then. I think we have some responses in the chat. Oh, food. Okay, Melly says sports at the morning. Okay, is there a sport that is, I don't know, I'm not a sports person, so I really can't speak in that area. Oh, Angela says my birthday is on Sunday. Oh, okay. I mean, that's a lot of motivation. That's enough motivation for this week already as well. John says rain Nairobi. Okay, Nairobi's weather is good. There's rain. Oh, okay. John is excited about the rain. It's possible that maybe you haven't had rain in a long time, because some people are usually not excited about the rain. Okay. Nozi says money. Okay, Ibrahim says calmness. Okay, all right. I mean, thank you very much for telling us what has been keeping you motivated this week. And then okay, let's just go straight to let's go straight to introducing our speaker. I mean, we've been talking about someone coming to speak to us about choosing growth, how their journey has been, and all of that. So who exactly is this our speaker? Who is he and who is this person? So our speaker is Justin Moipe, and he is an alumni. He graduated years back, and currently he is a founder of Data Drive Africa, a company building data infrastructure solutions for logistics and transportation in Africa. He currently works as a data consultant for Clover Health and MoFones, supporting data analytics and AI initiative. So a fun fact about our speaker for today is that he is a die-hard Marvel fan and he enjoys oceanic scenery. So yeah, that's like an exciting fun fact actually. So without wasting much time, I'll just allow Justin to introduce himself. I know we already got an introduction of him, but we'd just like him to introduce himself. And then afterwards, I would ask him a few questions, and then we just make it a fireside. I ask him questions and then he responds, and then that's how it's going to be. So we're going to introduce our speaker now. But before then, you know how like when we have like physical events and then they say, okay, the speaker for this session is so person, and then they say, okay, let's welcome this person up stage, and then the person is walking upstage. So let's just assume that our speaker is coming up stage, is mounting the podium, and then he's coming to grab the mic. So please let's just keep our emojis coming in so that we can welcome our guest speaker, please. I'm really excited to listen to him. I'm really excited to listen to his story, to listen to everything that he has to say, all of the juices that he has in store for us today. I'm really excited. I'm seeing emojis, but they are not enough. I want more emojis. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Please, Justin, please kindly introduce yourself. Let our learners meet you, and then we can start the fireside.
Yeah, thank you guys actually for the emojis. I feel the warm welcome here. So, brief about me. My name is Justin Moipe. Yes, as it has been highlighted, I'm a digital scientist and also a founder and die-hard Marvel fan. I don't know if our comic nerds are in the house, but I hope I have some of them in here. Yes, so that's a bit about me. And I usually work mostly with startups. And actually, I started my data journey officially through ALX. That's a bit about me. Earlier, or I was looking for, and like let me tell you a short story of how I actually got into data. So funny enough, that my fun fact about being a Marvel diehard fan is if you guys know of the character called Iron Man, when I was young, I used to admire, like, he's one of my favorite character in terms of technology advanced and being a genius. So I wanted to do something in tech. So this is a young boy seeing fascinating machines moving and all that, and I say I need to do something in tech, and that's my interest in tech grew from there. So shout out to Marvel for that. And yeah, that's a bit about me. And from there, my passion grew. I took it professionally, and that's where I am right now.
Thank you very much, Justin, for that introduction. I'm sure that we, our learners, have met Justin now. We now know who Justin is. We put a face to his name, and we can't wait to listen to all the things that he has to tell us today. So, Justin, I would start by asking you the very first question. How did you know that this was the career path that you wanted to follow? I mean, you know how we have like people from like a very young age saying that, okay, I've always known that I wanted to be a mathematician. You just know that their parents just always see them wanting to solve problems. They just, when they see a problem like this, they just want to solve it. They want to make sure that the problem has been solved before they close their books or before they do anything else. So how did you know that this path, this data path is the one that you wanted to follow? Yeah.
To be honest, actually, starting this journey, like I wasn't 100% sure that data was for me. And how I got into data was, I think it was through curiosity. And I wanted to do something in tech, that was for sure, but I wasn't sure what I want to do in tech. So earlier, I used to do those short online courses, Coursera, and all of that. And sorry about that. So I wanted to do something into tech. I started with software engineering. Actually, I did software engineering with ALX also, but funny enough is I never got to finish that. If you know the software engineering, the 12 months one that was there prior, those who experienced it have a story to tell. But from there, and also juggling between work and also studying and that. So by the time I came back, it's when I saw the data science course that was being advertised, and I decided. Went through it and started to look into what data science is about and data in general. And through curiosity is where I saw, okay, there's some sample elements of machine learning, AI, and I said, okay, this is interesting. So from there is when I said, okay, let's start this and see where it will take us.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Justin. I mean, I think we all can relate. Sometimes when you start something, you just really don't have that conviction. You don't know what exactly, like it doesn't look like it's taking shape yet, but all you have going is like your courage, your determination, and your curiosity. That that's sometimes that's enough for you to just keep going. And eventually by time with consistency and all, you find out that you start to understand, and then it starts to take shape. So yeah, thank you for that. The next question is, at what point in your learning journey did you feel stretched, and how did you respond to that?
In my learning journey, I can say there was quite a number that remaining, especially from, it was, I think at the time, our course, I don't know if it still is, data science is one of the longest stretching course. I think it was 15 months, almost actually it's a year and 2 months extra, or three or so extra to do the course. And at that moment, there were moments I can say for sure that I was like, should I actually really continue this? Because there were balancing my side job that I was doing and also how Majidogo, I think we started off with the pivot table, and then later on when we advanced it was we had building the machine learning, and this is things that you're actually trying to understand and learn, and also the milestones of how fast it was moving. Like if you miss this week already, you are behind by a couple of milestones, or the next week, so you have to do the catch up. But I think what helped me at that time for sure was the community was around. So we started, I think after the foundation, we used to have this community events of where we started meeting fellow learners who are doing data science, and we joined, created a group, and we used to have data Mondays in one of the hubs here in Kenya. And from that is where we would sit down together, tackle tough questions, and I think that helped me a lot. And one thing I can say is we have this thing I had it is where like the information overload is like these are new things that you're learning and you're trying to understand and get them like internalize it and see if actually, and there's the imposter questioning yourself, even if you know. But one thing I can say is that I got to a point to say that actually there was the milestone I had to deliver, and that was time based, and also I had to build something for myself, like understand actually what I'm learning here and how I apply it in future in different ventures, also in different organizations the same way. So in a way, I slowed myself down and put up, like, it's okay if I don't understand some concept, but let me not rushing through the course be a hindrance to me actually understanding what I'm learning and what are the skills that I'm acquiring at the time. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Justin. I mean, our learners, you can hear you just heard from Justin. It just helped us reiterate the importance of community, not doing this journey alone. You cannot afford to do this alone. I mean, just sometimes all it takes is for you to speak to somebody, just try to have like minds come together, you people come together. Sometimes what you are struggling with is something that someone has already gone through and has solved, so you can just speak to them and then let them explain um how they went about it, and how you can also resolve the issue as well. So if you are stuck, don't just let that keep you back. Just try to look for a solution, speak to people in your community, and then of course the your community, look for learners like you, and then just try to ask questions, and yeah, don't be a lone learner. Don't do this, don't do solo learning basically. Okay, so my next question is, what habits or mindset shifts accelerated your growth? Yeah, like.
Okay, I'm being told that my audio is. Can you guys hear me clearly? Just to confirm.
I think there's a little bit of problem with your this thing. We can't really hear you well.
Okay, apologies for that. Let me see if it's my audio. And now, can you hear me clearly? I don't know. Maybe it's the echo in the room.
Yeah, Justin, can you try moving your earpiece? Can you speak without the earpiece? Probably the earpiece is contributing to that.
Okay. Now.
Have you disconnected your earpiece from the system?
Yes, I have disconnected it. Am I clear now?
Oh, it's still cracking.
Okay.
Is the earpiece unplugged?
Yeah, it's unplugged. I don't know if is it clear, or maybe it's the echo.
No, it's not the echo. It's like there is a fan or something that is disturbing the microphone. Something about the microphone.
Okay, I'm not sure, but yeah, sorry for the noise, guys. I hope it's not. It will go away. Yeah. Okay.
Shagun, sorry,
Yeah.
please, could you just hold a minute? Maybe
Shagun, your hand is up.
Yeah, Justin, it's not the noise. We can hear your voice, but when you are
Shagun would
speaking,
like to say something.
yes, there's this static. Whenever you're speaking, there's this static something happening. It's not the noise. We can hear you, but when you start speaking, there's this static something, like something is.
Sorry, guys. I think you'll have to bear with me on that note because I'm not sure what's happening. But yeah, apologies for that. Yeah, sorry, Alim. I think you can repeat the question for me. Yeah.
I think someone said it's better without earpiece.
Okay, then that's great.
Yeah. So Halima, you can go ahead.
think Halima dropped off for a minute there.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
sorry
welcome
about
back,
that.
Halima.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
thank you. Yeah, okay. I think we can hear Justin better now, right? Okay, so the last question that I asked Justin was what habits or mindset shift accelerated your growth? I don't know if you got that.
Shift that accelerated. I think it was the great mindset. The point of where you try something and you learn something. Sometimes you might feel you're not able to apply it somewhere, but through curiosity and reiterating and not giving up, just keep on pushing on. That's a mindset. I think a growth mindset of where yes, there are failures, and actually accepting and learning from failures instead of classifying it as being personally as a failure, or since you failed in one thing, that means you're continuously a failure. But one thing I can say, the more you fail is the more you learn, and actually the more experienced you become. And this is something that has really helped me because even from the different organizations that I actually work with right now, is a failure that I learned from working on or solving a certain problem for a different organization has helped me actually to make better decision, better judgment on other cases, use cases, or other problems that arise that are familiar to what I went through in the previous one. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Justin. I mean, even after ALX, Justin is still using the great mindset that he learned from ALX Foundation. So yeah, that's. I mean, ALX just lives with you even after. I mean, the curriculum is really really versatile, and it's just very evergreen. So yeah, the great mindset. I can't do it yet, but just having like an open mind that even though you don't know it now, you're open to learning, and things can get better. Thank you very much for that, Justin. The next question is, what soft skills have mattered most in your career progression? Because you know how like it's not enough for you to just have hard skills or technical skills. You need to have like soft skills to be able to help you to retain your job or retain your position as a leader, or who you are. So yeah, what are the soft skills that have mattered for you in your career?
I think one of the soft skills that have really mattered is communication, and not just only communication, but communication for impact. Because you find that in different, and this is something that I actually had to learn because earlier I used to classify myself as someone who's more introvert, but at times you find that you walk into rooms where it's the C-suits that are around, and then you have to actually be courageous enough to communicate the information. And if you look at data, of which that's mostly, and I'm sure most of us will come around that, is here in Africa, I can say here in Kenya specifically, work into organizations, and not many people are actually data literate. So you might have to actually explain yourself, explaining the numbers in a very simple, summarized way. So you have to actually learn how to, and that's storytelling and communication in there. So communicating for impact, and that will help in the decision making for the C-suite and actually the leadership part of it. And in a way, it has also taught me on how to be a better leader, because I've been able to learn through some of this, the people I engage with around, so networking and also communicating, and not only communicating, because at times we tend to over communicate, and that's because you're trying to, in a way, it's selling yourself out there. But one thing I also learned is a soft skill, but that I took into consideration, is listening also, because you learn a lot from people who are already there. So you can try to sell yourself, and especially if you're early on in the career, you're out there to sell yourself. So every time you meet someone, you're trying to tell them, this is what I can do, this is what I can do, telling your whole story. But also a skill that I learned that is important, especially in rooms, is you can walk into rooms, but at times listening is also a key. It's a power, because you get to hear people, what problems people are facing. And if you look at it from that end, now you become a problem solver. He is no longer a person who just offers solution, but also understands the problems in the organization, and how can you translate that through data.
Thank you for that, Justin. I mean, communication is always very important. Communication is like one of the top soft skills that one needs to thrive in any career whatsoever. So communication is very important. And yes, Justin has also made us understand that selling yourself is not enough that you know what you know. Sell yourself. Let people know what you can do. Nobody is going to come to your laptop or nobody is going to come to your house, come and pick you out. Do the selling yourself, sell yourself, market yourself. Nobody will do that for you. So yeah, thank you very much for that. The other question, don't worry, almost done. The other question is, how do you continue choosing growth even now as a leader? I mean, choosing growth has always been the thing that has been driving you, but how do you still keep choosing growth even now that you are a leader, even now that you are a leader?
Yeah, I think choosing growth is right now, and actually in this kind of era with the AI era, is how I choose growth is by constantly being curious. That I can say is everything. Things are shifting very fast. It was just a couple of weeks we had Open Cloud Bot, and AI is coming into play. And I think even a good thing is also that this started off from ALX, even doing the AI. Actually, I did the AI career essentials in ALX, and that has helped me continuously be informed in what the things that I do and what is happening matters data, matters AI in our current industry. So constantly being curious and learning and relearning. So actually, right now is when I find something actually in my workspace that I'm doing, there's a data breaks that I'm currently learning how to data pipeline. So I did a bit of data engineering even after completing data science with ALX. I took up data camp and I've been teaching myself while I'm working also doing the same and just continuously growth, learning. I'm a lifelong learner. That's one thing I can say.
Yeah, thank you for that, Justin. I mean, learning, relearning. There's always something to learn. Even after he completed his data analytics course, he still went ahead to do data engineering. So there's always room for growth. Don't feel comfortable in your space or where you are. Just keep learning, keep learning. There's always just keep being curious. Yeah, like Justin has said, keep being curious and just have this open mindset that growth is constant. It is always going to keep happening. So yeah. And the last question for you, Justin, is what would you tell a learner that feels behind or unsure right now? Because I mean, our learners sometimes they just feel overwhelmed and sometimes they want to give up. So what's that word of encouragement that you have for them today?
I think what I can say, and this is through experience, is one is I create a community around you and people who will be there to support you. I think I've had one of my friends here, my best friend here, that Jolie. I had his sound here, and that he's one of the OG. He knows we are one of the OG crew of data science or where we started, or even before, after completing foundations of that break, and we used to come to the hub. Just we started 3, the number kept on increasing to a point. I think I could not be able to come, but the community, the group continued. It started, it went to a WhatsApp group, and then it came to every Mondays, people showing up and just working together from that, learning, teaching each other, supporting each other from there. And the second thing I can say is that you will, and I think most of us at times you will feel behind, and behind you can be behind in matters coursework, milestone completion. But I think that should not deter you from continuing with it. Is I know, just speaking realistically, you have to keep up with the milestone, and you might say sometimes there are those months or weeks that the content is not going into your head and you are behind, and you find you are like 2 weeks behind on the milestones. I can say is working together with your friends, you are able to complete the milestone. But one thing I can say is take time. Don't feel over pressured to actually complete the milestone, but take time to understand actually what you're learning. Because you find that for you to understand a course, you can do a course, learn and take it as a lesson, like a normal course that you took, and forget about it somewhere. That's what you did. But if you take time, complete the milestone for sure, but take time, go back and at your own pace. And I think ALX provides that opportunity for you guys to actually, there's the grace periods, the time of where you actually given time to understand actually what you learn. So don't feel over pressured, because at times these things are new. Actually, most of us are new. Some never knew tech even from the get-go, and you're transitioning from a completely different field and coming into tech. This is the first time, and it can feel overwhelming. But if you take time and slow yourself down, because as I said, every day is a learn day. Actually, you're learning, because even at the workspace, right now I'm at the workspace and I'm still learning new things. So don't feel pressured to know everything all at once. And even after completing and you feel like I didn't gain any value, but there's some quite of value that you get, and continuously learning from that.
Thank you very much, Justin. Lenas, I'm sure you heard it from Justin. Don't give up, continue to push. It doesn't have to make sense now, but just continue to push and continue to put in efforts. Don't give up, ask questions, and, try to cross all your T's and dot your I's. So yeah, that will be all for the fireside with Justin. It's now time for you, Lenas, to ask your questions. If you have questions for Justin from all that he has said, I'm sure you've picked a thing or two from everything that he has said. So if you have questions for him, I'm sure you do have questions. So please ask your questions. You can put them in the Q&A, you can raise your hands, and you can put them in the chat as well. So yeah, Lenas. Okay. Yeah, Abdul Basid, you can speak now. I see your hand is up. Abdul Basid Yusuf, I saw your hand up. Oh, okay. Okay, is there anyone who has a question? Who has a question for us or for our speaker? Okay, I do have a question actually. Before, okay, maybe our learners are trying to gather their questions or something. I have a question actually. Justin, what exactly do you do right now at Data Drive Africa? Just tell us your day-to-day work is like, and how you apply data analytics to it. Yeah.
So currently, Data Drive Africa actually is about providing a data infrastructure for logistic companies here in Africa, because you find data is very, I think, is very fragmented, and you're not actually. Most of these logistic companies currently are focusing on being operationally efficient, and it doesn't give them room for actually improving their revenue income. So it's you're operationally efficient, but you're not getting any revenue from that. So trips are being made, deliveries are being made, but if you look at the margins and not profit that is coming up from them, that's why you find most companies or startups that are in the logistics space tend, like the likes of Sandy that went down because business was going as usual. Everything is working, deliveries are happening, but there's no growth in that businesses. So my focus is actually increasing revenue for businesses and also growth. And I took that and I've been doing it since what I've been learning from that experience. I've been applying it to other startups in the same way. Like right now, we're working with Morphone from a data point of view, and is how do they reduce risk and utilizing that the data that they have, a database of over 20K customers, and reducing risk and fraud. And we're building our credit scoring actually that is AI based from supervised and unsupervised model. So those are some of the skills that I learned there. And another thing I can say is that one core skill, and I'll urge people in the same field, is when it comes to data, especially in our African context, you'll be walking into, everything that you learn, Majindogo, you're given a data set that has I think at that time, I'm trying to remember the mentor that was teaching us today, but you have those minimal errors that the data cleaning is like 10% of the data set is already cleaned for you. Outside here, I can tell you for sure, like 80% of my work is actually data cleaning, rather than even training the models, because honestly, that is one thing we're never prepared for, because I think humans are prone to errors, and even how systems are being built. So even as I'm working right now, as advising startups and also working with other startups, is you get into a room or into a project that you're working on, and you find like you think that everything is there, the data is there for sure, but you can't even do anything until you do it. So you find 80% of the work that you'll be doing out there is mostly data cleaning. So the skills that you acquire, data wrangling and cleaning, sorting it out, putting attributes and all that, that is the most of the work that are there. So just to tell you learners, as you're going out there, is make sure your data cleaning skills are actually good, because in our market, that's one of the biggest problems. And I think if you guys actually, if someone is thinking of a solution in the data space, if you're able to automate that with AI, which that's something I've been thinking of, actually you can say chat me and we can have quite a long conversation on that. But another thing I can say is, my train of thought has just disappeared. But yeah, is another one is that at times the data that is actually required to make informed decision is usually not there. So this makes someone that you have to go back and sit and think about, so how, for other organizations, how do you actually collect data that will inform what you actually, the report or insight that you give out to the businesses. So I can give a good example is, as I was working for Triva, there was this thing where the CISO, of which the leadership wanted to understand how the performance of a department is working. And performance is the time in, as for the BD, basically what are the leads that they're getting, what statuses are they at, and you find this was completely, there was no pipelines or systems that actually are able to do that. So you have to go and sit down and start by, where do I start, is how do I collect this data first, and how do I organize it and create actual pipeline that will enable you to now visualize it in Power BI, so that it can be advise and give informed decision for the leadership. So I'm there thinking, starting with forms, creating a form, names and all these business leads, and from there is putting filters and how do I visualize it in the best way that can be easily understood by leadership. So that is another skill that I think you get, someone you need to be thinking of, because not always you'll have a data set waiting for you. And especially in this market, sometimes you'll have to be the one creating that data set. And as you're doing that, you should also be thinking of what data validation to apply. So for example is, and this, if you add data validation in as you're collecting the data, this will actually reduce the time taken for you to clean the data. For example, is putting the validation as now names, not having letters or special characters, just restrictions in how you collect the data using the forms will actually reduce the time you take in cleaning and focus more on analyzing and actually creating visual, if it's for visual, or training models with it. Because if you look at data science in general, there's a thing of which is garbage in, garbage out. So you might be training and seeing your model, the data set that you use is messy and not clean or cannot be used. So when it comes out on the other end, that also makes the model to be messy, and that's why come maybe hallucination and not understanding the context in that manner. So yeah, I think that's one thing I've learned as I'm going through this data journey. And yeah, that's basically it, I guess.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for that. Thank you for helping us reiterate the importance of the curriculum for data analytics right now, because sometimes maybe the learners feel like, oh, we are being punished, all these things are too much. But now you've come to help us understand that you in the industry, you're actually making use of the things that you learned, like data cleaning, data validation, the margin logo, all of them, they will come in handy. So please, our learners, try to be well grounded in all of this right now, because out there you will need it. It will come in very handy out there. So yeah, thank you very much. And we have some questions here. Someone would like to know, on the days that you felt no motivation to continue learning, no matter how much you try to keep yourself motivated, the days where you just felt your mind is blank and it doesn't want to digest, or you don't want to digest any information at all. Okay, I'm guessing the person is asking how you navigated those days. Yeah.
True. Actually, there are those days, and where you're like, even you open, what was it called? Is it the modules? You start a module, open it, and then you are there looking at it, but zero motivation actually to do it. And then it comes to now it's on Monday, actually Friday or Monday evening, where you have to submit the milestone, and as I said, you're rushing through it. But in the same way, if you have a community around you, there's a friend of mine, of which I met through the same Michael, he's called Michael Masolgo, and the other George, of which these people are one of those people that even with zero motivation, they'll be there to actually try and motivate you. And how they motivate you is by what they've actually accomplished. So, and what they accomplish is not that it's there to intimidate, but rather to motivate. Because you might find sometimes that, hey, I can look at this and I'm like, already Masongo is ahead, Najoli is ahead, and they're all doing this. So, indirectly, that was motivation for me to now get, okay, I need to be serious and actually do this and that. So, I can continue to say, and I think it will become a chorus at this point. Community supports you a lot, even during those days that you feel you have zero motivation to actually do anything. Because I remember, I can say this, when I was doing the software engineering course, the element of community was there, but it was on like Slack, and no one was actually following up on each other. So you find like, okay, for past 6 months I've been doing this course on my own, and I only knew one person, and at that point we lost contacts, connection with that person. And I think if I had the same community that I had when doing data science for software engineering, I believe that I could have actually completed the course, and through the community I could be able to get enough support for me to go through the course and complete it. If you look at actually the people who actually complete this course, they have people around them and people who actually are there to support them, even during those times that they lack or have zero motivation to do it.
Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, who you are surrounded by, whoever it is that you surround yourself with, is what will actually determine who you become eventually, actually. So Justin just made us understand that on the days when he felt really down, he would just look at it and be like, oh, Najoli is ahead, I need to get ahead as well. So yeah, just keep looking at the people who have done it, and you just tell yourself, if they can do it, then I can do it as well. So I believe that answered your question, Maureen. Also, Lerato would like to know, how is the job market for data professionals?
So I think the job market for data profession right now is really growing, but I can say it's also different with each industry that you're going into or organization. So people are slowly starting to see the need for having data experts in the organization. It's now they're coming to hear everything. Everyone, I think, at this point has heard about AI in some way or form. So they're like, oh, how do we implement this? So right now is when the need is actually big. And another thing I can say is, even there are organizations that actually don't understand the data that they have, or even how to control the data department. So you might walk into an organization, if there's anything to do with data, you can say I'm a data analyst, and then later on you're told to build data pipelines for moving something from a database to a data warehouse, and I think adopting being a jack of all trades. Well, you'll have to learn. That's how I learned data engineering. So in the JD, you're told like your data analyst, your work is just basically cleaning the data, visualizing it in Power BI or Looker or Holistic. That's clearly defined in the JD. But what you get into when you get into work with them, it can be a startup, it can be a corporate sometimes, is where you find actually you're doing a data analyst role, you're doing a data engineer's role, you're doing an AI engineer's role of getting workflows, and that's through the data that you collect, and sometimes even a machine learning role. So I can say is one thing you should be prepared is it's not as defined in the JD. There are organizations that understand it, and the organization that actually don't. So something that I actually adopted, which is internally, was with teams, because at times is where you're given, and I think even last week I had the same issue. You're sent a data set that is actually in different rows, columns, separate, like it's completely different. So, and constantly you have to be doing the data cleaning, and out here you have to act sort of and take up like a leadership role, of which most of the time, yes, you are a junior, you are in that organization. They may say you're even the junior in the organization, but some things you have to teach yourself and also teach the team that you're working with matters data literacy. And data literacy can be the simple stuff is how to organize data and all that, and it can be even to how to store data and data privacy. And I think right now this is another thing. I recently took a short course into data privacy, and this is a skill I can advise people to be learning. Data privacy and compliance, it's being taken really seriously, and at times you might be utilizing the data. So having doing the training, visualizing on it, and at times you'll be working with other organizations. So how do you safeguard the data that actually you're sharing with other organizations to make sure that there's no breach in that? So this is something that you're not. I think if you're a case, Safaricom recently had the same thing about a data breach. I think one thing you should learn is take a course on the data privacy and protection and understand the data laws within your region or the country you're in, because they differ, but most of them are actually closer related to the same.
Thank you, Justin. I believe that answered your question. The data analytics, the world of data analytics is actually booming, and you just really need to know what you know and be good at what you do so that you will be hireable, basically. Jesse has actually buttressed the fact that it's actually good to move with community. He said having peers also helps a lot. That he visited the hub yesterday to finish an assignment that he couldn't understand, but he met friends who were able to help him out easily. So yeah, thank you for that, Jesse. If you have issues, don't just don't keep to yourself. Ask questions. Try to seek solution from people who have been through that so that they can help you as well. Someone is asking, Weston is asking, do you think the future is promising for data professionals? If so, which roles do you see as more in demand? Data analytics, data engineering, or other data related roles?
Yes, actually the data field is very promising, and more so in our continent right now is very promising, because I think even most of the AIs that we're consuming are trained with data sets that come from the Western regions. I don't know if you guys, and as actually after I used to do a lot of Kaggle data set utilizing them, and if you go through and scrape the web, it's actually very difficult to find data that is in an African context. Actually, as even data drive, that was one thing that was a big challenge for us, and that's why I started working on like building out a data infrastructure for that. So I can say in our current market, that is very promising. In other markets, like the Western market, they still actually is there because if you find most of this data, AI that are being built, and AI actually there is data. Without data, there's no AI. And the field of AI is growing. So I can say, in my opinion, that this field is very promising. And what an advice I can say is between choosing data analytics, data engineering, data science, or machine learning, an advice I can say is right now it's not that defined because most of this field overlap. And I was listening to a podcast recently to a point that what this guy was like, he's a data, what's his called? I'm trying to remember them. I think I'll share if that the podcast is they usually talk about AI and data and how startups utilize that for growth and sustainability. And it was like at times when he was starting the career, is you get into data and then you say you're a data analyst or a data engineer there, and then you find that you're given models to build. So you have now to become a machine learning engineer at the same time. So I can say is just try and be flexible and be open to learn, because even within structured organization, there are also things that overlap. Because the person who's a data engineer building pipelines will also have to do a bit of data analytics, of which this is the SQL cleaning part of it. And the same way, a data scientist needs to understand a bit of analysis, because if you're doing feature engineering and building out models, you need to understand the data you're working, and that's data analytics. And also where you're pulling the data from, that's data engineering. So just being flexible. I can say that I used to have that problem, is where at times the work I'm doing is a data analytics course, and I ended up calling myself a data expert because there are times this guy asks you, and the work that you're talking about, he's like, isn't that a machine learning engineer, not a data scientist? I'm like, yes, but there's also this other part that I work. So be flexible in this currently being flexible. I hope actually we get to a point of which even the podcast was talking about getting to a point of which these roles are strictly defined. But for now is I can say is try and be flexible, especially in our market. Big organizations like the Microsoft, Nvidias have more structures, and where you as a data analyst, and there's also the BI analyst, which is business insight analyst, where it's only focused on a certain field. So an alternative I can say, as you are doing this course, is you can specialize, but what I can recommend specializing is specializing in a domain, an industry. For example, if you're more into the creative space, you can specialize in such a space. If you're into the financial fintech space, understand how finances were all that moving into the space, because having domain knowledge actually can make you a specialist in the data field, and that is more lucrative, and actually people seek you out more if you understand. Because as recently when I was working, and domain knowledge can be gained. I usually say whatever you learn is not wasted, because you'll find yourself using it in somewhere that actually was not there. So a good example is I was in the creative space, which is the creators working with social media metrics and all that. And after that, there was a pivot to a fintech. They introduced a new product, which was a fintech product. And how now do you come and combine fintech knowledge with the creative knowledge in that, and learning through the space and being a specialist in a domain or an industry, having domain knowledge can actually put you ahead. So if you say you're a data analyst, we have I think currently I don't know now, but over maybe 2,000 people also doing data analysis. And how do you put yourself out from the rest? You can decide, and even in job hunting, is why you can decide that I will be a data analyst, but specializing in this domain. Is it the fintech? Is it the agricultural side of it? So that when actually even it narrows down or filters out the opportunity that you're seeking. Because even you might be, and currently I was there, you can apply to all these roles and doing this and writing articles or even doing case studies and data, training yourself and taking data sets in specific industry, like for example, the logistics makes you, and sharing it on LinkedIn in the same way, people actually will notice you. And people who are actually in the industry will say he is an expert in this field through the data. So that can actually make you stand out in that space.
Thank you, Justin, for that. Maluki would like to know how you avoid burnouts when working full-time and doing professional certification and doing data analytics. How do you avoid burnouts? How do you manage? How do you balance everything?
I'm still learning through that. But I think a trick that I've gotten, and this is what I usually use myself, is as I'm working, is if you choose to work with something that actually is exciting to you, it can be professionally, like that this is the work that you're given professionally, but if it's something that is exciting to you, and you'll find the motivation to learn it by yourself. I don't know how to put it, but if I'm going into a new space and there is all this workload that comes with it, that I have to do all this work, and also there is the learning element of this, but I find myself personally, if I am working and learning a new thing, is I have more interest in understanding it, and actually I understand it much better. And this is like, and currently how we do, like, we do the project-based approach. And another thing I can say, this is a trick that I used to use, is if you are consuming content that is actually overwhelming, we right now we have AI, so you can use automations to actually do some of these repetitive tasks, and that's in a way reduces burnout. And in terms of learning, a trick I used to use, and I still use up to this date, is that I pick a topic and then write something, and this is the prompt that I use for AI, is that I have to understand, like, this is the topic that I'm trying to learn. Tell me, or teach me, tell me, give me 20% of knowledge that is required for me to understand 80% of this work. So if you use that prompt with AI, especially Claude, it summarizes that content in a way that you actually paste it there, and you get to understand from a foundational point of view, and you get the core concept that actually help you to understand 80% of what you would have learned. Because you have like maybe 35 pages of work, and you say learning through all this, how can I finish? But if you get the 20% knowledge that actually will enable you to understand the 80% of what you're supposed to learn, that is a trick I usually use on a day-to-day basis, and that can help you reduce the burnout and actually understand the concept that you're trying to learn much quicker.
Thank you for that. The AI that you mentioned is going to lead me to the question from Aguda. As someone who is actively in the tech field as a data scientist, how has the emerging world of AI affected your work capacity, and how do you cope with it? Are there some data scientist job roles that have been replaced by AI, or is there still need for data professionals in the emerging world of AI?
I can say currently is using AI as your, and I think it has been mentioned, is using AI as your intern. That has been really helpful, because at times you might be going through a problem, trying to understand it. And what I say is that AI will replace the people that actually don't use AI. And what I mean by this, and also AI cannot replace everyone. So being an expert right now, I think I can say there are people that this called vibe coding. I don't know if there's vibe analysis yet, but in terms of data analysis that is out there, but is one thing is you find people actually, and there's recently, if you guys have heard about Cloud, what's it called? Cloud Open. Is it Open Cloud? The name has been shifting, but Open Cloud that helps you actually is your personal assistant. The founder, who is now he works for OpenAI, actually built it out all that platform through vibe coding. And how he was able to do that is because understanding of the domain knowledge. So you can come, and one thing I can say, and you guys have gone through it, I don't maybe have experienced it. AI, especially, I'm biased towards OpenAI, is there to make you happy. Because sometimes you might be giving it a question and it will tell you, oh yes, you're the one who's right. I think we've always, and there are memes around this. So AI will give you an answer and it might hallucinate the answer. But if you have domain knowledge and understand actually the concept that you are asking, the question that you are asking AI, it's going to be the best assistant for you and the best tool to utilize. And in our space currently is if we are going to be taken over by AI, probably it might come by having domain expertise puts you way ahead and actually utilizing AI to make yourself optimize the processes that you do. Because organization come and say, let's plug in AI into this sector and utilize it, and you find it causes more harm than good. Because one, they just took an AI model, not pre-trained, not and put it there, and automatically AI is meant to give you an output, and that's why I say garbage in, garbage out. So the data roles data professions currently are still needed, and will for a while will still be needed. So I can say for now we can say we're in a good space, but I cannot say for certainty we're still yet to see, because the way AI is moving, everything new things are coming out and new technologies are coming out. It used to be when I was learning earlier in high school computer, you're told that new technologies come after every 18 months. Nowadays, technology comes after every 2 weeks, so I think you will have to keep an eye out and see what will come next. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Justin. In fact, before you blink your eyes, there's already an update. There's already some update that has been made. Just people things are just evolving, and things are not the same again, actually. So yeah. Yusuf would like to know what basic skills to learn. What are the basic skills you need to learn for someone who is transitioning into data field in this era of AI? So what are the basics? What are the things that you need to you can't afford to not learn as someone who is transitioning, or someone who is currently learning data, learning data analytics basically?
I think the basic skills I can say to learn is one is the common one, and the best thing I can say you can start with just how, if you are in the ALX course, I think you are in safe hands, because how it was structured is it takes you through the journey of actually what you do out here. Because from data wrangling, analysis, those are some of the core skills, as I mentioned, is that will be 80% of the work that you do. And there's those things that I can say another one is Python. And Python is good because you're able to write scripts with it. And also there's the regex function. And the regex function is where I can give a simple example just to simply understand it is you have this a column that is for amount. And in amount, people a certain amount. There is amount in Kenya shillings, and it's written KSH and written the 100. And there's also amount that is written as 1K, like 1K in the same field that you're analyzing. And so if you understand the basics of data cleaning and utilizing even the Python, building out data frames, you're able to actually simplify your data cleaning processes, and understanding those basic foundation of data will help you a lot, because you might there running a sum of tell me a simple, you understand, you know the code and it's working because you're telling you created sum of this column, and you're finding a null error because there's text data in that same, or because of those small human error of letter K, or another one is in special character, the $sign. So understanding the basics of all this, you might be there stressing yourself. 2 weeks working on the same leadership is asking what's going on. I expected to have this, and you're not figuring it out here. So having the basics of data cleaning and understanding them, and the other one is just creating workflows. That's another thing I can say people should learn, and creating workflows in the sense that how do you approach your whole data workflow, from cleaning as it's structured in the Jupyter notebooks, from cleaning, visualizing, analysis, visualizing. It will help you a lot because you are sometimes given a data set that this is the data set, and then you're told this is what they'll tell you exactly. I just want to know, or I just want to see how this product is performing. They don't tell you what metrics that they need to be able to visualize that. So getting to the data analysis point of which is clear, as you're cleaning it, understanding the data that you're working with and creating a workflow will enable you to actually complete that task that you are given, and also in the long run, it will shorten the period that you take to do certain tasks that you are given to do. Because if you just dive into it, I think you will go into a deep hole, because you'll be looking at the data from all angles and everything. I can say in data, actually this is interesting that I figured out. Whatever you want to look for in a data set, you will find. But is it the right information needed for actually? Because you can say you want to, whatever you think about visualizing, you will find it there in the data set and you'll visualize it. But how informative is it to make decisions? So decision making and problem solving, that is one skill that I think also people should take. Because there was a time I created a whole dashboard, and out of my own knowledge and understanding, it was a commerce project I was working on. I said, okay, so they need to see the revenue, they need to see the GMV. And later on, I was like, oh, okay, we are seeing all this, but what should we do with it? So you see, like it was not actually giving informed insight that actually translates to informed decision for the team. So making a visual, you will make it. You'll create a pie chart, and I think even for us doing the data analytics course is that we were even being told that we should actually learn and understand what actually you want to visualize. And if you whatever you want to visualize, you will visualize and it will be out there. But how helpful is it to make a decision? So understanding that and learning that will actually be a good skill that will help you a lot. Because even as I'm doing my data consulting roles, recently for Opens, I was given a data set of all this, and I was like, okay, I can be able to tell like how many customers come through what channels. But the bigger question is even the questions that you ask even in terms of communication, the questions that you ask is, how is this important to make an informed decision, and how does this translate into revenue through the funnel in the long run? So having 13K and knowing that they're coming from WhatsApp, Instagram, yes, they're coming from all these channels, but what information are looking, and that's where I got to go deeper into understanding even customer acquisition cost. And customer acquisition cost is where I had, okay, so this is what is important, not how many people are coming to our platform. It's no longer the leads that are coming, but how is this cost saving to the business? And they're able to see, okay, and from that, they realized sending information through WhatsApp is much more cost saving, because there was the conversion rate that is happening there was way higher than what is happening through other channels, because it takes a much longer life cycle in the same way. So there are a lot of things is the questions that you ask and inform into the visual that you build, and that can actually make you or separate you from just being a normal data analyst.
Thank you very much for that, Justin. So problem solving, decision making, is not enough that you have data. What exactly can you get from the data? The meaningful insights that you can get from the data that you have, and how it translates to revenue making, basically, because a lot of these stakeholders and business owners don't care about what data you can get or what is, they just want to know how it will make them more money. So yeah, those are like the basic things that you need to know as someone who is transitioning into the data field. What an insightful session this has been. Thank you very much, Justin, for sharing your experience with us and your Choose Growth journey as well. We are really grateful. Thank you very much. I believe our learners have learned a lot from you today. And is that right, our learners? Let us know. Did you learn a lot from Justin's experience and his story and everything? Yeah, thank you all very much for listening, and thank you, Justin, for that. All right, so we'll now go to the poll now. There's going to be a poll that will come up on your screen now, so please kindly respond, give us your feedback, and yeah, kindly take the poll. Let us know what you think about this session. And all right. So now we'll go to announcements. So learners is still learning still continues, and your next assessment is due Monday, the 9th of March, by 9:59 p.m. GMT. That's the integrated project Maji Ndogo Part 3. And we have learned from Justin now that all these projects that you're doing, they are very important. They are very, very vital. So don't see them as another extra stress. See it as something, see it as a learning journey, something that you need to know, something that you need to understand to really solidify your data analytics knowledge. So yeah, and you can check resources to support your journey, your SQL journey from the program, all the resources that you need are available there. Thank you all very much. And thank you for the session. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you, Justin, and thank you all our learners for joining in. And yeah, that will be all.
The grass is greener on the other side. That's what I thought before I took the ride. I burned my bridges, so I never looked back. But if I had known the life I was searching for was looking me right in the eye, oh, if I had known the life I was searching for was already my own.
Life is better on the other side. That's what I thought before I took the flight. I realized the stars in operation only brings me back to you. Oh, I didn't know this freedom I've been chasing is mine alone to lose. Well, if I had known this life I was searching for was looking me right in the eye, right in the eye. If I don't know this life I was searching for was already my own.
ó pè mí kí n máa bọ̀ nílé. Ẹ̀dá mi ṣàtọ́kùn fẹsẹ̀ mi ò jẹ́ ń padà